The head's all shiny.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we have an interesting topic regarding HOAs and ADUs in Southern California. So I'll let my sister read it and then we'll discuss.
Yeah, I'll read a little excerpt and then we can talk about it. So, before moving forward with his plans to convert the garage of his 3-story condo into a ground floor apartment, he canvassed local architects and engineers to make sure a kitchenette, a bedroom, and a bathroom could all be packed safely and legally into just 417 square feet. He pored over local zoning maps, checked with the city of Carlsbad, and got himself a building permit. He sought and received the blessing of many of his immediate neighbors. He even emailed a planner at the state's housing department to get his take on whether he was legally entitled to build what California law refers to an accessory dwelling unit. But then his HOA came in and said no. And the irony is he's VP of his HOA. I mean,
conflict.
But also this is just shocking to me that it even went this far. If any of you have ever lived in a community with an HOA, you know how strict it can be.
Right.
I owned a condo in a community with an HOA. They dictated what our window treatments were. Like,
yeah, they'll even tell you what color your house can be.
Yeah, I mean, painting it was not even an option. That was included in our HOA for me personally in that situation. But we had to have white blinds or white or off-white curtains. We could not have a color.
Right.
There wasn't a color. I mean, and with the other thing that kind of stood out to me is like, where are you gonna park?
Right.
Because,
is there a picture of what this condo looks like?
No, a picture of the garage. We'll show a picture of the garage.
Go down a little bit. See, maybe there's a picture of the exterior.
Let's
I want to
see
what it is. Because you know, some townhomes, was it a condo or a townhome?
It said a condo. It said condo. Here, I mean, here's an exterior, I guess.
It's hard to tell, but more than likely your garage is on the immediate level upon entry. That's how most condos are. You drive in, and your second or third level are living space. I'm curious to know if that's the case.
It looks like it. Okay.
It looks like it probably is. Like,
and
you go in, you take steps to get to your living space.
And this is how mine was. So I'm like picturing my house, right? Like you park, you go upstairs, and now you're on the first level of your house,
right.
And then you go up another level with the bedrooms. But so in my community, you had to park in your garage. Like any other parking within the community is for guests.
Visitor, right?
Yeah.
Right, visitor.
And if your neighbor reports you parking in the guest spot, like you could get in trouble, which was an issue because I owned my condo when I was a college student, and it was a 3-bedroom condo, and I rented out the 2 rooms. And I only had a garage space for 2 cars, so one of my roommates had to park within the community, and they would just like switch around the community all the time, so we wouldn't get
caught.
Yeah, but like how? So I'm thinking, how could this even?
This sounds very suspicious.
I mean,
if he's the president,
VP
of the HOA, you gotta have a valid understanding of the CCNRs.
Yes.
And all of the documents related to what you can and can't do in an HOA. I think he's just trying to pull a fast one, honestly, and this is San Diego County, so Carlsbad is in San Diego County, Southern California. Kind of a nice area.
But what's interesting to me is like, why, if there's even a chance that this is going to be a no,
right.
Why spend all the time, spend all the money to getting to the point that you are now, if there's even the slightest chance that, like, I don't know, like it just is crazy to me to go through this whole process to get to this point to be told, for your community, your people in your community to be like, no.
Super strange.
He was quoted as saying the reason he wanted to do this was to help offset the housing crisis. So he's putting it out there that he's trying to do good.
Right.
He also wants to provide affordable housing
So he wants to use it as a rental.
Yes, but also to provide a revenue source for his family.
There you go.
So, I mean...
Maybe he doesn't have a car.
I mean, maybe.
Well, where's your renter going to park?
Again, it's like all of these kind of weird questions. And I mean, we can kind of look up more information on this community to see like how it is. But I don't know if you have as a realtor, but as a realtor, I showed homes in a lot of these communities, and the parking is
horrendous.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest issues. It is like, this is your garage, this is where you park. Like, if you have a day visitor, they need to park way over here, and it's scarce.
I remember when we went to pick up tile for the last project in Gardena, and it was inside of an HOA community, and they're like, park in the visitor. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But CC&Rs is probably a familiar term or unfamiliar. Covenants, conditions, restrictions. So basically it tells you what you're allowed to do, what you can't do in an HOA. I'm thinking a lot of these CC&Rs were implemented at a time when ADUs were not a thing. So there's nothing in there about talking about ADUs. So he's trying to pull a fast one and get around this, but more than likely it's gonna be shut down. That's my guess.
Yeah, maybe there's like good parking outside the community, so that's not an issue. Him and whoever he plans to rent to, maybe they park around the corner and they walk. I mean, listen.
But what's your garage door gonna look like? Are you getting rid of your garage door?
That's a good, no, maybe because my house, you would park in the garage and then there was a door to come in the entry, or there was the entry. So maybe they're just gonna come in the entry and walk straight into the garage. I don't know.
I wish we had photos of the actual unit. It doesn't have an address. It says some guy in Carlsbad, huh?
I mean, it has the community, so I'm sure we can pull up Mystic Point Homeowners Association.
We'll try and find that. Maybe we'll throw some photos in here, because I would be curious to know what this thing looks like.
Yeah, but like in the photos that we're looking at, like, man spent money. He already was chopping up some ground. He was digging.
Is that his house?
Yeah, construction at Adam Hardesty's home in Carlsbad.
Oh, wow.
So, like, he looks like he started to run some plumbing. Like,
oh, he already cut the slab open.
Yeah. And so that's my point, is like, why wouldn't you get the 100%
right
okay before you...
So they shut this down completely.
That's what it seems. 2 weeks later, he received a cease and desist letter. It warned Hardesty that if he ran the risk of exposing himself to legal consequences and unnecessary expenses if he didn't let up. I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean...
Yeah, what would you guys do? Have any of you tried to convert your condo or townhome garage?
I mean...
And what do you do at this point with all that?
Again, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why go through the whole process if you were uncertain of how this was, or maybe he was certain and then just got, he was shocked that
maybe it's time to call Saul. Better call Saul. You need an attorney.
Something.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if we can put pictures up. Curious to know your guys' thoughts. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.